Hi you guys, it's me, Chris Colley. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the city of Rochester Hills in Michigan, and it is a crisp, very crisp, rainy day here this morning. One of those days where I woke up with a sinus headache and it's just been a morning here, but I'm with you guys and that makes it perfect. It's just perfect when I can hop on here and start my day stamping with my buds. So I'm glad that you're here with me, and I'm going to share some new catalog products with you this morning. I'm so excited about them. Do you guys love this? This is a color sheet that was shared in our Demo Diva group, and it is so beautiful. I love seeing just a rainbow burst of colors, but the thing that's special about this one is right here we have 5 new in colors, and that is pretty exciting to me. They are Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. We had our team meeting last week, and I made a little bookmark for the gals that were able to attend. So they also have these new in color dots, and they are so pretty. So you can see this is a piece of cardstock that I've punched out. There I've stamped my image with classic ink and then the little dot. So we have Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. I love all these colors. And in keeping with getting the new in colors into our team's hands, we made little 3x3 cards using all of the in colors. It took us a little bit longer than it normally would have. And we also, because we normally do just 3 projects, so now we're doing 4, and they were kind of involved in that they showed a new technique. So this is the positive on my die cut, and then the negative. And then we also got some new basic beige cardstock. So we did the same thing. We did a positive and a negative of that one. Can you see? Isn't that a gorgeous color? There's a lot more green to it than there is with crumb cake. And we used lots of new products. So I'm going to share those with you. I think I'm prepared this morning, but usually when I think I'm prepared, that just means I have a big problem and I've forgotten something. So we'll wing it if I did forget something. I know you guys realize I am not perfect. So we are just going to make it through like we always do here. Okay, I want to be sure I'm in the middle. We're going to kind of do 2 cards at once. And you'll see what I mean by that. In one envelope, I have all of their pieces of cardstock. And we do have, you guys, these 3x3 envelopes. They are going to be retiring. So if you like to make 3x3 cards, you want to get those envelopes. So this one has all of our die cut pieces and our in color little strips and a piece of in color ribbon. Let me just share with you, our die cuts came from the Unbounded Love stamp set. It comes in a bundle. It has beautiful, beautiful sayings about faith and peace, just a little hello, lots of great sentiments here. And they do the calligraphy with the just kind of a block all cap font. And then these are your dies that go with them. They are absolutely beautiful and they coordinate. In fact, I think, let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, hang on. I found it very quickly. Okay, so some of these dies, I did a swap. We do a card swap in a group where we do a 4 cards. So this is die here. You can see there's some glimmer paper in our new in colors. And this die here actually cuts out that little leaf frame. It's this piece here. This one right here. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the glimmer paper, but she also used lots of dies from here. So she has this one and this one in the middle. There are lots of beautiful dies that coordinate. And this is some paper from that suite and a new embossing folder. Lots of beautiful products. You'll get a little sneak peek up here. And then this one, I love that die. I think that die might become one of my favorites because it's just so unusual. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna take, this is a piece of 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 basic white cardstock. And I have cut our strips already, so I'm just gonna put some regular adhesive on them. And it's important that you put your adhesive all the way across there. So you want to be sure that you are taping the middle of your cardstock piece down. And you can arrange these on your little 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 piece of cardstock however you want to. I think I'm going to start, put these here. I think I'll start with my peach pie. And I'm just going to sort of lay them on there for now because they have just like a 1/18 of an inch maybe on there. Then I'm going to go petunia pop around the edges. When I say on there, I mean around the edges and in the middle there. And I'm going to do petunia pop and Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink, you guys probably, if you've been around Stampin' Up! For a while, you've heard that one before. And it is a color that is returning. And I'm going to do Shy Shamrock. And again, just laying them on there in case I need to spread them out a little bit. I can see that one needs to go a little bit closer in. And then my Summer Splash. Okay, and I'm gonna then move them just a tiny bit closer to each other so that I can get all of them on here. And in a minute, you're gonna see why it was important that we, having a little problem moving that guy, I put him down a little too hard. Important that we push them down in the, or adhere them, I'm sorry, in the middle also. Because we're going to be using, if you remember from the very beginning, positive and negative images. So gonna move that. They are just like a little teensy weensy bit of a white showing. So we're gonna get that going on there. And that one looks like he's just a little. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna bring in our little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're going to open it up, and this one I am going to use this little die cut for. So I'm going to put that on my paper just like that, and we're going to cut it out. So to cut with this one, we're going to need a white and some twos. So our white is our regular Stampin' base, like it is on our big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm just going to put that right on top of there. And this one, we do want our pieces to be kind of beveled to go through there. Just going to make sure it's straight. And you can add a Post-it note to this, or a piece of Post-it note tape to kind of keep it in place. I'm just going to kind of wing it and hope for the best, right? Okay. And we'll move this out of the way for now. Okay, so now I have this piece, and I've just kind of cut that one right out of the middle of it. See how we wanted to, those papers don't come off there because we added that little bit of tape into the middle of them. So I'm going to set that aside. And this one, I think, I didn't do this on the my sample, but I think I'm going to try embossing it. And I've picked out an embossing folder that is from the Fun Patterns embossing folders. And this is an online exclusive. You're not going to find it in our catalog, so you do have to go online, but it has two. This one looks almost like an argyle kind of pattern to it. But we're going to use this flower one. One of my downline used this, and I thought it was just so pretty. And I think I'm actually going to emboss this piece. Like I said, we did not do that at the meeting, but I think I'm going to try it. That's the beauty of making an extra one, is that I can try something extra and we can see how that works out. So we also have a piece of 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 for each of our cards. So we're going to emboss all 3 of these things. I'm going to put my little die back here so I don't lose it. I think we can emboss a couple of them at the same time. Oh, we can. Okay, so I'm opening my embossing folder and I'm putting both 2 of them on there at once. And for this one, we're going to use this gray plate. This is our gray number 3 plate. And let's see, I don't know that I've embossed with this machine. So I'm going to guess it's my gray plate, my embossing folder, and a number 2 plate. And that didn't do it. Didn't make it strong enough. Okay, let's try our basic plate with our gray plate on top of it. Okay, so it's going to be just our regular plate that we would normally use when we're cutting, and we're going to put the gray one on top. Can I add my, yeah, it doesn't seem to work either. Let me try the gray with our clear plate. Sometimes this sandwich thing gets me, as you can see, right? Okay, so let's try 2 clear plates. And I may end up just having to shim it a bit, but let's try this. I don't think that's going to work, but let's try it and see. I may end up having to bring over my big machine. Okay, let's do that. Let's bring the big one because, let's see, it does say though, insert embossing folders, hinge first. So it's doing a 1 and a 3. That's my 3 and this is my 1. So let's try this according to the directions in the pictures and see. So that's my regular base plate, my embossing folder, with the paper inside and a number 3. Oh, that one seems to be it. Okay. So it looks like I just had to bevel them a little bit at the end. All right. When all else fails, read the directions, right? Okay, so then I'm going to put in my last little white piece here. And I'm also, no, I'm just going to do my little white piece there. Okay, so my embossing folder, and you always want that hinge part of your embossing folder to go in first. That puts less stress on it, so it doesn't like snap and break on you. All right. And I did all of the die cutting for the sentiments on these. Isn't that, you guys, don't you think that that is just a beautiful image that you get from there? I think that is so, so pretty. And again, that is a 2-pack of folders that are called Fun Patterns Embossing Folders. Okay, so we are going to take our card base, which is 6 by 3, and it's scored on the 6-inch side at 3. And we're going to just fold and burnish on our score line. And then I used some dimensionals to put that piece up. So what I'm going to do is put my embossed piece up on some dimensionals. We'll take that one off for now and just put this one on there. And I'm just using dimensionals in all of my 4 corners there. I love how all of those new in colors look together. And I love how it looks embossed. I don't know why I did not think of that, but I will definitely do it on my basic beige one also. I don't know if you guys can see. This is going to go right on top of here like this. So you can kind of see the difference in that top piece being embossed. So this one is the embossed one, and that one is kind of flat. Okay. So then we have some ribbon and some die cuts and some leaves. Now when I die cut these leaves, they were kind of those things that there's a lot of detail to them. And so you can see there's just, that's this one here. There's just a lot of different spots where you have to poke the little insides out in the paper, and it was kind of sticking to my die. So what I did was I put a piece of wax paper between the die and the cardstock. And what happens is you then cut out lots of these little pieces from the wax paper. Let me see if I put them on the white, if you can kind of see it a little bit better. Okay, so you can also use those in your design too. I did not throw those away because we will be able to use them again. So I'm going to come in, let me move this out of the way, and I'm going to stamp the word faith in Memento ink. Right on, boy, I got a lot of stuff up here today. Right in the middle of this, I'm gonna run a piece of tape behind here. When the die cut cuts, it cuts both of those pieces out. So you can use the frame or you can use the middle. So I'm gonna grab, well, I guess I'll tape it when I'm done stamping it. And you can use Scotch tape for that. Just a regular piece of Scotch tape to hold it in there. Okay. Ooh, that doesn't look like it's inked very well. Let's see if that will. And again, with your photopolymer stamps, you can just see exactly where that image is going to go. And I am going to grab my Scotch tape. we have an event coming up this weekend. My online exclusive event is on Saturday. So I've been busy getting kits done and designs, and Marielle's coming tomorrow to help prep, and so it's been kind of a busy week. There we go. So I'm just going to put this back inside there and then tape it down. Okay. And then I'm just going to bring my snips in. I'm actually, instead of trying to get that off there, I'm just going to snip that extra little piece off the back of it there. There we go. And we're going to tape with our now Stampin' Seal. I'm going to take a little piece. This is bordered ribbon, and it comes in all of the new colors. Isn't it pretty? Has a little tiny stitched border on each side. And I'm just going to place that in the center behind. I'm going to get it a little bit straight. There we go. And I'm going to add these little leaves back there. I'm going to put them on with some glue dots. And I'm going to put my glue dot, on the front of my leaves. So I'm just going to press my leaves in there. Put my glue dot on the front. Yeah, and I'm going to add that behind there. And I'm going to add this other one. I'm going to make sure my glue dot's on there. And add the other one. Wow, this is the shimmer paper. And it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. It's going to be retiring, so it is on sale right now. Getting all of my retired stuff used up. Oops, I forgot to trim the bottom of this. Getting it used up before the end of this month. So there we go. And I'm going to put this piece on some dimensionals too. Also, so I'm going to add 2 dimensionals back here. And I'm going to put this one, this top layer on. Boy, I had my other scotch tape right here, so I was a little more prepared than I thought. So I'm going to put my little frame that I've cut out and embossed right on top of my card base where I have the embossed piece on dimensionals. Just going to put it right over top of that. And I'm going to pop off the backs of the dimensionals here. And this would be pretty stamped in some of the in colors too. But we just used black ink for our meeting. So I'm just going to kind of center that in there like that. And I want to trim that up just a teensy bit over the edge. There we go. And this side. Now we did not use any gems or anything like that on these cards, but you definitely could. We have 2 different kinds of gems that match these, and this is one of them. These are the 2024-2026 in color resin dots. Our other ones are kind of sparkle gems, I think they call them. And they come in all 5 colors. And they're 2 sizes. So you get kind of a small and a large. And then these are they're shimmer gems is what they're called. And they have more of a little kind of pattern or texture to the top of them. And again, there are two sizes, just a large and a small. And you can see all those beautiful colors. Aren't they pretty in colors, you guys? I think they're just gorgeous. So, should we use one on here? What do you think? I think we should. I think I'm going to go with these. I kind of like these flat ones. And I'm going to put them right in here. And I think I'm just going to use, I think I will just use the one that is going to go down here. So I'm just going to take one little pink one and put it right there. And I'll take that one off. Okay, and then our next one we are going to do is here. Oh, it looks like I'm having some problems. Oh, I hope you guys can still see me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going, and hopefully I won't have to redo this, but we'll see. Okay, so again, I'm going to try and emboss this one also, just because we did that on the negative part of it. Oh no, I'm not going to, because I have already embossed this. Okay, so we'll just go from here. And what we're going to do is take this, I guess I am going to emboss both of them because the bottom piece of this did not get embossed. So I think I'll try that. And this piece with it also. I'm not sure why that didn't get embossed, but let's try it in here like that. I must have ran it too close to the bottom of my machine, but we'll get it worked out this morning. It seems to be a morning of working things out. And especially now that we know how to get this through there. There we go. And I am, just because I did with the other one, going to emboss my piece there. Okay. Perfect. All right, and for this one, we actually used some silver leaves. So that will be kind of fun. Metallic here. Let me get my little envelope with my card base in it. All right. Oh my goodies. So I am going to take my card base that is 6 by 3 and scored at 3. And then I am going to take my little embossed 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm going to pop up the back of this. Woo! Got away from me there. And do you guys like this flowered embossing folder? I think it is so fun. Just going to center that in the middle. Oh, wow, that really was not centered at all and not straight at all. Okay. There we go. And I am going to put some dimensionals on the back of my piece. Now remember, this is just the piece, the negative piece that we would have thrown away. And we are going to keep it and use it because it is so pretty. I'm gonna stamp my words on here. And again, we used black for all of our sentiments just because it was easier than putting lots of ink pads out there to confuse everybody and stamping the wrong color and all of that. So we stuck with black, and black looks good. It's a nice crisp image. We have a little piece of peach pie ribbon that's just kind of tied in a knot in the middle, and we're gonna add that with, get rid of that piece there, a little glue dot, and I'm just gonna tuck it under this corner. So it kind of looks like that on the edge there. There we go. We're just gonna trim it up a tiny bit. There we go. Okay. And then I am going to put, again, we use these same two flowers. I'm sorry, these are leaves. We use these leaves and put them down here and kind of up there. And then we're just going to add some Stampin' Seal to our sentiment. And pop it on there. Okay, so we have the positive and the negative. So we've used up all of that little 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 little spot there. And for this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the yellow little peach pie gem, just because that's what we did on the other one. And I'm going to put it right there. So we have a little gem and all of those new in colors, those beautiful new in colors. Okay, so our next two are going to be with that gorgeous basic beige. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that might be, it's just kind of a classic traditional color that is so pretty. So I'm going to start with my white piece of cardstock again and my 5 pieces of new in color cardstock. Okay, and I am, if you're a glue user, by all means use your green glue. Use whatever kind of glue you like to use, glue it or adhesive. We give you lots of choices at Stampin' Up! As far as adhesive color, or I'm sorry, adhesive colors, adhesive types. I think we have 2 different types of glue, and we have Stampin' Seal, and then we have a stronger Stampin' Seal, and which is our Stampin' Seal Plus. Just kind of spinning these around, putting a little more on this end. I'm not sure why I started a little bit in on them, but I did. So for this one, I think at the edge, I am going to start with my Summer Splash. And again, I'm just going to kind of try and line them up as I go without pushing them down. Okay, so next to my Summer Splash, I'm going to put Shy Shamrock. Usually we have food names, So these are going to be kind of fun to petunia with a flower, and shy is kind of an image, and so they're going to be kind of fun. Summer, who doesn't like summer? I actually have a niece that's named Summer. Okay, and then we're going to do our Pretty in Pink. So a lot of them are just kind of things that, to me, they remind me of fun, right? Petunia, flowers. I love flowers, so that's in summer I love, and just it's just kind of a fun new group of names. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and press them in. And again, you want to get that tape in the middle there so that you know once you cut your die out that you're gonna get the whole thing. Okay, so for our dies, again, we're gonna use our base plate and 2 clear plates. And our die. I'm going to take a minute here with my Take Your Pick tool, which I thought I brought over. These dies get a lot of paper cut up in the little holes there. And again, wax paper will help with that so that your die cut image will pop right out. So I'm just going to... There we go, so it's all cleaned out. I'm going to put that right in the middle there. And I'm going to add a plate on top. Oh, and I can see that moved just a tiny bit. There we go. That's more like it. All right. And I'm going to get these out of the way. And we're going to put this punched out piece, we're just going to set that aside. Put that back up there. And we are going to be using that piece on our next card. Remember, we're doing the negative and the positive. Okay. I'm just going to trim this piece up a little bit, and then we're going to run it through, and we're going to add the embossing to it. And I didn't, as I said, add the embossing when we were in class, but I think, or in class, or at our meeting, but I think it's going to add just a little bit. I like the texture that it added. So I'm going to emboss both of these, and I'm actually going to take a piece of Scotch tape and again tape that together in the back. And I just want to make sure I get those little ends. And that should hold it. I'm going to do just this side too, because I really do not want it to fall apart. So I'm just putting tape on those edges to kind of hold those two things together. Now they can be used apart. If you remember this card that I did, I shared earlier. So this is that one piece. If you popped out that middle piece, that's what it would look like. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and emboss both of these. And for our embossing, we're going to use our number 1 plate and our gray plate. Okay. So, I'm going to pop both can do a little what we call a ride along. And it means they can both go together at the same time. One can ride right alongside the other one, and we'll do them both with only one pass. That kind of cuts your work in half, right? And then while I still have this out, I am going to also emboss our little 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 pieces. Isn't that so pretty? This one I'm using the kind of argyle one, so you're going to get a different pattern. And I'm going to take both of our card pieces, and again, we're just going to do a little ride along and put them both in here at the same time. And these pieces are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. They're just going to layer nicely on our 3 by 3 card base. This embossing just adds so much texture to your card that it's wonderful. Okay, so I think that's all we're going to do with this little machine for today. So we'll kind of pull him up on the side there. And let's see if I can get this so you guys can see the embossing on there. Isn't it beautiful? And it does it remind you of like an argyle sweater? I think that's kind of really a fun little pattern there. Somebody's sending me a message. Let me see if I can get that cleared up there. Okay. So I'm going to put that over there. And, okay. We're going to bring back in our card. And it is again 6 by 6, scored at 3. And here's our little bone folder. Okay, and I'm going to put this piece up on some dimensionals. And we try to keep them so that they were kind of like a little set of cards. So they're kind of the same. Both cards, our white and our basic beige, are kind of the same. They've just been done with different embossing folders. Same colors, different shapes, different sentiments, but the positive and negative for both of them. That is really kind of a cool technique where you are a little less wasteful. Okay, and I'm going to put this one up on dimensionals also. Put one in each of the corners. To use as many new products as we could. And I'm going to put that right on top of our other 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. There we go. I'm going to stamp our sentiment on here. This one we used "You are loved." Middle there, and then we cut out some more silver little pieces like this. I'm going to kind of use a glue dot and put them all together on my glue dot. Kind of more like that. There we go. I'm going to take this little piece of Shy Shamrock. I'm sorry, this is Summer Sun. And I'm just going to pull this little piece that's coming out there. You guys saw how easy this frayed on our last card, so I'm just going to pull that off. Well, maybe I am. There we go. Oh, maybe there we go. I'm not sure why that's not pulling off there so nicely today. Let's see if I try it down here, if that will work. There we go. Just have to get it started, maybe. Wow, we did this just yesterday and it was coming off there so nicely. The beauty of the camera, right? Makes me look like a... Let's just try snipping this right at the edge and see if we can pull from there. There we go. Will that let us pull it now? Wow. Now they're just kind of pulling out. I'm not sure what's happening there. Let me trim that one up and see. Ariel uses her little pick to pull those through there. So let's see if I try that. This is what we want right there. Okay, so instead of fiddling with this forever here, I'm just going to pull some of these out. Okay, so I'm just going to use it without fraying it because it's being obstinate. One of those things where I just can't stop because I know there's an easy way to do this. And I've done it. So we'll just keep kind of pulling them out a little piece at a time. If that's how we're going to do it. Oh, there. Whatever it was, it just popped. And there we go. So you can just pull like that. And then I'm going to trim that. And I'm going to put a glue dot down here at the bottom. And I didn't fray it all the way so that I would have something to dot it with. Okay, I'm going to kind of just pop this right under there. So it's going to go just under the edge of my card. Okay, now I'm going to take this little bunch that I have my glue dot on, and I'm going to trim just a little bit off of there. And I'm going to push that under there. And then I am going to tape my sentiment right on top. And it's going to go like right there. Okay, isn't it fun? And I think I'll use maybe some Summer Splash on this one. And I'm going to put one right there and one right here. Okay, and then we have the negative of this image, which is going to be right here. We have all of our little pieces for that. And we use the same die for our words on both of those pieces. And here's that one, the little one that I said is going to be my favorite, right? I'm going to put hello on this one. And again, love those photopolymers. So I can get it exactly where I want it. Now for this one, we have cut our piece of ribbon right in half. And managed to get some ink on myself. I'm going to put a glue dot on each end of my half a piece of ribbon. And we're going to glue that around that long piece. So we're going to glue it right to the back of this die cut. And it has those little, the die cut has those little notches in it. So it's kind of just perfect to wrap something around it. I'm just going to peel that little one off there. And then I'm going to put my hello on a dimensional. And it's going to go right in the middle of my ribbon and my die cut. There we go. And then of course we have some fancy pieces we cut out. And I'm going to put those right on my little oval. So I'm going to take my 6x3 piece of basic beige that's scored at 3 and fold it in half. And I am going to put some dimensionals on the back of this piece. Just like we did for all the other 3 cards. There we go. We're going to center that. I'm not sure. I keep looking at these and thinking, do I like the basic beige or do I like the white? I have a hard time deciding. Which actually is the real reason I joined Stampin' Up! In the first place, was that they had all that great color choices, and so I didn't really have to make decisions. Everything coordinated with each other, which was just perfect for me. Okay, so let's put our little die cuts on there, our little flowery die cuts. I'm going to start with this little silver one. And it's going to go like right there. Then I'm going to put this one on top. And you can, and this one has those great ridges in it. I'm going to miss that paper. It was kind of like the only shimmery kind of textured paper. And then we'll put this really long one up there. I think I'm going to put that about down there so that I can kind of, there we go. Okay. And this one's going to go down flat. Oh, I got all those hairs from my ribbon on there. And this will give you another chance to kind of get the frame and the outline together. And then I'm going to take this one, and I think I'm just going to put it down flat too. I'll add my Stampin' Seal to both ends. There we go. I want to move that up just a tad. There. Okay. So we have our positive and our negative. And then we have our, gosh, I got garbage all over these. Our positive and our negative in the white. So let me pop down and see if any of you guys have any questions. Oh, it looks like I'm getting messages from all sorts of people. Okay, no questions. Thanks for tuning in today, you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun sharing with you, and let's get our little, those are the ones that we did today. So, our beautiful in colors. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye-bye.